All right, guys, keeping these short and sweet until I get my voice back. So here we go to watch this video for what day? Man, I don't even know what day it is. Thursday, February 13th. Showing you the SPY here, which gapped up and closed green. Very narrow range on the day. And by the way, let's see, it closed at 337.42. And after hours, it's trading at 336.43. So gapping down. Who knows by the morning if that won't, or to be back up or whatever. But some headlines out of China. Coronavirus numbers a lot worse than people once thought were released this evening. I don't have them in front of me, but that's why I have a couple of stocks that I have on the list, which I'll get to right now. So let's start with CAN, which I believe is Bitcoin related. Big pop today, strong close, relatively new issue. Certainly going to watch that one tomorrow. Roku, an inside day after the gap up. Going to keep our eyes on that one because you can kind of tell if you draw a trend line here. It definitely gapped up above the trend line. Nice volume on the breakout day and then the inside day. So Roku's pretty interesting. CLNE, nice pop, fairly strong close. GNPX, a nice pop up near this recent high with one other high just above, one other recent high just above. So that one's pretty extended, but we're going to watch it. NNVC, potential gap play. This closed at 714, and after hours it went out at 806. You've kind of got a two-day high before today, around 8.25. So over 8.25. I don't know if by the morning it's still going to gap up, but certainly interesting over this two-day high, which by the morning would be a three-day high over 8.25. So there's kind of an area to keep an eye on. I believe that was also the pre-market high. I'm sorry, the after-hours high after that coronavirus news. So that was certainly one to watch. APT as well. Ugly sell-off today. This is the mask maker and went out in after hours at 557. So everybody who shorted this thing, really the last 2 days, going to wake up underwater if it opens somewhere near where it closed in after hours. So, excuse me, and that's another one to watch. So those are two gap plays, NNVC and APT. TAP is Coors, which gapped up on earnings, popped a little bit, and then had this nasty candle. You can't see it on this chart, but right around 55 bucks is the 50-day and the 200-day. They're both kind of converging right there. This is the 60, which is pretty close to where the 50-day is, and the 200-day isn't on this chart. But anyway, so that 55 area after the gap up on earnings, super interesting for a potential bounce tomorrow. NH just goes back on bounce watch. Big spike here, big spike here. 4 days lower, a little bit of a bottoming tail today. I've been watching that for a bounce for a couple days. No trades in it, so it goes back on watch. REXN gapped down, but ended up putting in a green day, an inside day. So it's kind of interesting to me over 360, which is today's high, if that happens tomorrow. Of course, that depends on how it trades intraday. TCON. To me, the chart is still valid, and you had big volume back here, and it's really just kind of flagging. A couple days recently, big volume for the stock, or at least a little higher relative volume. But not really in play, so I'm not in love with this one. I'll need to see a big volume spike come in before I trade it. DLPN, interesting over 90, right? It gapped up here, topped out at 90, almost hit it again here, almost hit it again here. So it's kind of a breakout area. Note that it only traded 515,000 today, so not a real popular stock. And then I typed that wrong. PBYI. There it is. Kind of flagging after this 2-day rip. Couple bottoming tails, so that goes on long watch. All right, that's all I've got. I'm going to leave it at that. Teamwork's been great. Market's been pretty dead. Don't nickel and dime yourself to death trading sideways, chop. Had a nice early trade today and didn't do much the rest of the day. All right, anyway, we'll be back at it in the morning. We'll see y'all in chat.